Good morning and welcome to Morning Markets on Wednesday the 18th of March. Another very volatile day in markets, but a number of very interesting measures that have been taken in the background that are supportive of trying to stabilise the current environment over the coming weeks and months. The first of which I think it's important to speak about is that what the UK government have announced last evening with a package of 350 billion of additional support over and above that which was announced last week. This will be in the form of loan guarantees, changes to taxation, etc. for business, which is supportive of businesses in this current very difficult environment. I want to stress again that this action has been taken in coordination with the MPC, which is very important. So both the government working from a fiscal perspective and the MPC working from a monetary perspective to ensure the smooth functioning of the UK financial system. Also, we've seen a number of announcements come out of the Eurozone, in particular the Spanish government announcing a support programme of up to 100 billion euros and an additional programme of 17 billion euros, which will directly support those impacted. That again is a coordinated fiscal response in Spain, but what we need to see is more of that across the Eurozone. We know that France will be putting together an emergency budget, which we will hear about in the next day or two. But what again I would like to stress here is that it would be better if we could see something that is much more coordinated between the ECB and the individual countries, such that we're getting the best support into the system that we can at this point in time. Turning now to the US, we saw a number of measures yesterday again on the fiscal side. So we saw the government start to put together a package of about $1.2 trillion to support the US economy at this point in time. That again is starting to see much more of a coordinated response. At the same time as that was being announced by the US government, we heard again from the Federal Reserve where they've reenacted a number of the measures that they used very successfully in the financial crisis to stabilise the funding markets for business. So what are they going to do? They're going to provide additional liquidity into the commercial paper market, and also they're going to support the primary dealer market, those dealing within the US Treasury market. So that is two important steps that we last saw being used in the financial crisis by the Federal Reserve in the US. Taking these things together, these are all important and are moving us in the right direction of providing the support that the economy needs at this point in time. I think it's crucial to stress that they are there to support the functioning of the financial markets. What does that mean? Effectively the plumbing that goes on behind the scene that none of us see, but by supporting that market and providing liquidity into that market, it seeks to reduce the stress that's been seen there at this point in time. These are all things that will not provide immediate relief to the market in any shape or form. That will come as we understand the impact of the coronavirus and economic growth. The other thing that happened in the US overnight was the continuation of the Democratic primaries. Within that, what did we see? We saw Joe Biden win a further 3 states. This could prove quite an interesting juncture for the Democratic Party and something that goes back to 2008. If we were to see Bernie Sanders withdrawing from the Democratic race at this point in time, it may smooth the way for a better joined up response within Congress between the Democrats and the Republicans, in the sense that we would have one person that could lead those negotiations from the Democratic perspective, that being Joe Biden. So that is something that we will continue to monitor over the coming days. But bringing together the two parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, will be crucial to supporting the stimulus package that is being discussed through Congress in the coming days. I think it's important to stress that the action that we're seeing being taken is there to support the financial system at this point in time. The unknown continues to be the economic impact of the spread of the coronavirus across the globe. What we can see is that central banks and governments are now starting to take the fiscal action that we've been discussing over the past couple of weeks that will be important. We'll be able to update you again more on this tomorrow. Thank you.